All right. Another one that kind of I think has gone under the radar a little bit. And maybe it's because it happened later on in free agency as opposed to in the initial 2 or 3 days. But I loved the fit with this player and team, and that's Damien Harris, formerly of New England, going to the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo has desperately needed, and I've talked about it year in and year out, and they never listen to me, Matt. They never do. They've needed, idiots. They've needed a big physical back to where at the end of games and near the goal line that they can trust to give the football so they can help run out the clock and or take some hits away from Josh Allen near the goal line. Now, Josh Allen is still Josh Allen. He's still going to do some things where he's going to get himself more hits than he needs to. But I think Harris is a great fit and a really good complement to James Cook. I know James Cook was a guy you liked. I think we all thought that there was a pretty good chance that somebody would get brought in, whether that was free agency or the draft. We didn't know what level that would be, but no one really thought, I think he was going to be the only back there. What are your thoughts on this situation?
Obviously, this is a great fit as far as him and Cook in the backfield together. I love the fit there. And they mentioned it. I mean, they flat out, I don't know if they did or reporters, they leaked stuff to reporters, but it came out that they wanted a bigger back and they got him. Mm-hmm. So it is a great fit. Obviously, they've been trying to do some things with some smaller backs that are kind of, Devin Singletary is not really the guy you want running between the tackles on a consistent basis. He's just not big enough for that kind of workload. So Zach Moss didn't work out. Zach Moss moved on and went to Indy, and it worked great. You know what I mean? He looked good there. So we'll see on Damien Harris. He's never been a guy that I loved for like fantasy purposes. But he's capable. I think, you know what I mean? He's capable, and we'll see what kind of commitment they have to him. I call me like skeptical, I guess, on Damien Harris as a fantasy option. I think it's a really good move for the Buffalo Bills. I think it'll, like you said, probably open Josh Allen up a little bit to not taking some of the hits, which is good for his longevity if you do have him on your roster. So that's how I see Damien Harris. I don't see him as a guy that I would want to go out and acquire or anything like that. Sure. Because he went from New England to Buffalo. Because just Buffalo's past, they want to throw the heck out of the ball. I bet you James Cook and him have pretty similar snap counts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's going to be a pretty close to 50-50, which can be ugly for fantasy when you're not the guy catching passes.
Right. And he strikes me as a guy that is a great floor play and a terrible ceiling play. Like if you just need somebody to get 10 to 15 at most carries a game, and you just need to get 60 yards and, roll the dice with a touchdown or not, he's perfect for that. That's great for bye weeks and injury fill-ins, but you're not going to the playoffs. You're not going to a title game with him in your lineup. He is simply just going to be a bye week injury filler, right?
Yep, that's how I see him for sure, man.
Right.
So good for Buffalo and okay for your roster if you got him. I mean, at least he didn't end up in a 3-headed monster.
Sure.